everyone, Lau here. Welcome back to a new video. As you can see, I'm already in my cosplay. I'm wearing my Dr. Aphra cosplay for the very first time. Doing shooting here. It's basically the same location where I shooted my Ahsoka when I had my makeup tutorial. In one of my last videos I said I want to go on a big bike tour with Aphra, but I heard that today the weather should be rainy in the afternoon, so I just came here because this is pretty much very close to my home. Anyways, this video actually will be a cosplay showcase video of this costume. It starts a little bit different than the other ones that I did, just because I decided I can include this little bit of shooting stuff here. In a second you will probably just very easily switch over to my home, and then you will see the mannequin with this costume on it. I will explain everything. I hope you have a little bit of fun. It's not sunny today, but it's so sticky warm, like hope you have fun with it and see you at home. So, hello everyone, now we're here, and as I said, the costume is on my mannequin, and yeah, I think let's just start with the first layers of the costume. Okay, these are the first layers of the costume. It's basically just trousers and a polo shirt. Let's zoom into the polo shirt first. So what can I tell you about the shirt? At first you have to know that I based my costume on the cover art of the Dr. Aphra comics, where she usually wears another outfit than what she is wearing like in the comics. It's a little bit strange, like in the comics she's wearing more like jeans trousers than a vest. I know it's a red vest, and a little bit different details. And my costume is the more or less cover art with the leather jacket, grey, red short sleeve leather jacket, and yeah, some other details. Her trousers are more like grey, or depending on what picture you see, like this beige. And whatever picture you choose to base your costume on, it will have a different shirt underneath. There are people who say no, she's just wearing a plain like t-shirt with just a round neckline. Yes, in some other pictures she said like a stand collar or this kind of polo shirt collar, which I chose because I think it's the most interesting. Anyways, it is a white, or let's say more like off-white, single jersey fabric, and I sewed it into this t-shirt with a polo shirt collar. I didn't choose to put any buttons or anything on here because it usually just flops open. The collar is like a mix of a stand collar in the back. It has these like as if it is a real shirt collar. You can like put it down, but usually when Dr. Aphra is wearing like her jacket over it, it's like blah blah blah. You don't see it very often. So, but I found it more interesting to have this button placket here in the front. Next thing are the trousers. If you like look at the guidelines from the 501st, for example, for Dr. Aphra with this costume, it says her trousers are dark grey, which I did just find one picture where it's dark grey, so I decided against this because I'm not in the 501st that I want to try to let this approve, but no. So I opted for this color, which is like a sand, like beige grayish color, and which her trousers have on most of her pictures. Yeah, it's very tight, so all over, like tapered. So the legs are also very it's very tight, almost like leggings. And probably the most interesting detail is this like kind of, it's this kind of closure here. Actually it's simple, just like most of my trousers, just with a zipper and a button, but it doesn't stop here, which would normally be. It has this rectangular piece which stands over the middle part here. I think it is actually to the other side. I think I switched it by coincidence. I didn't want this. It's like mirrored. Actually, it should be to the other side. But anyways, no belt loops, nothing special. My fabric is not that stretchy. It should have been more stretchy, but I had all the materials already at home, so I didn't buy anything else because I found this color to be perfect, and it has a little bit of stretch, but not enough. So at first they were a little bit too tight, so I had to insert here this piece. But now they fit perfectly, and you don't see whatever is here inserted because her boots are covered completely, so I was okay with that. You have probably seen, like, what's this? There's already some pilling, and it's got a little bit darker because this is the part where part of her holster and her belt construction is like going around the thigh. That's why it's already pilling, but that's okay because it's not seen when normally the holster and the belt kind of situation covers it. Anything else? Anything special for the trousers? No. Darts. Waistband. It sits very, very low. That's something which I most often don't do. I personally like trousers which really go to the waist, like what I'm wearing right now. High-waisted trousers, but Dr. Aphra isn't wearing high-waisted trousers. She's wearing very, very low sitting trousers, so I always have to be a little bit careful in the back but it is still not as low, so still okay for me without showing any of whatever shouldn't be shown. So yeah. Next up we have the belt with the holster and everything. Here it is together. Let's open it up and show you how it actually works, because this is like the big belt. It, again, as I always do, closes with Velcro. So here you see in the back, if you can see it, I don't know, there are some Velcro here and here. So I just Velcro it on here so that this buckle is like, it's just show off buckle. It doesn't do anything. I made it out of Warbler, and yeah, it sits basically just over it, so no function there. And like the end part goes into this loop here with these two rivets, and then you have two other things which strap here again with Velcro, and another one comes from the bottom. It goes in this small hook here. Please keep in mind that, oops, the mannequin here is way smaller and is not my size, so the belt is a little bit too big for it, but it should still work. Let's see. So, Velcro, Velcro. the end part in here. One from the top, the Velcro goes here. And this one from the back into the hook here. And let me do a little trick, otherwise it will fall down like this. So down, and then here's the holster. I can't take it off or anything, it's sewn onto this. And here's another belt from the holster which goes around the thigh. This is what I meant here, this pilling stripe from the trousers. On the trousers is from this holster belt. I will show you up close in a second. So yeah, Velcro here. That is why I needed these two seams here, because the Velcro is sewn on. These are, yeah, I couldn't avoid them. I would have liked to have it without these two seams, but that's how it went. Here's some holes, and here's the buckle, which I said is not functioning really. It's just like an accessory piece in my construction. Then I did some rivets, which are actual rivets, which I hammered in here, here, also to the back there. Then this one is like also sewn on and fastened with these rivets. And this one is a smaller strap which goes around here and then into this hook here. This part here is also made the same way as the buckle, just warbler, and then yeah, painted silver and some weathering. It's really like sewn through, and it has just a hole. Here you can see it has just a hole, so I can put it through the hook. And this hook is actually a big one from like hook and eyelet or whatever it's called, just for clothing actually, but I found this works pretty well because I couldn't really put it like permanently on here, because then I cannot get out of this construction anymore. Yeah, then here are some, I don't know what this actually is, but on her pictures you always see this silver stripe here, and also something which is like not just a rivet but something long and silver on this upper belt part. I just used silver leather for these two. And then here we've got the holster. It has an insert piece here. By the way, this is all made out of real leather. This is also the only material I needed to buy for the whole costume, because I had everything lying around, just not the perfect brown shade of leather. And as always, I buy pretty thin leather. You can see these are 2 layers sewn together, so it's a thin leather. And inside this belt here there is again foam, so I cover the foam with leather so it looks sturdy and has the right amount of thickness. But for the holster I decided to just go with 1 layer of leather, and it is sewn onto this part, which has the other belt here. From the back you can see this belt goes completely around the thigh, and at the back here is another buckle. This is a real buckle. So I can open this one. Let's open it up. Not very successful. Now here. I can just close it with this one button here, button and buttonhole. I decided to go for this. I don't have Aphra's blaster, like really her blaster. I have another one which I think is okay for her. I got this blaster last year at Powerful Horse Convention when I won the cosplay competition. So I'm really happy to finally now able to use it, because this will be now my Dr. Aphra blaster, and I'm super okay with having this one. Let's continue with the jacket. It is a short sleeve leather jacket. Without any closures in the front, so the center front doesn't have any buttons or any zippers or anything to close it, because that's how it is. She never closes it, and there's nothing to see at all to have the opportunity to close it. So that's just, and here you can see what I mean with like under the jacket, the color of the shirt is never really seen. It's just flopping around, whatever. So just leave it how it is. Yeah, the jacket is also completely made out of leather. The gray parts are middle to dark gray, and I use like pseudo leather, so not like not that shiny leather, which I would call Nappa in German, but like pseudo. I never know how to pronounce this word. Yeah, and like the lining is not really lining, but another gray fabric, because both leathers were kind of thin, so I wanted to have like a thicker inner lining. So it's just another like another gray material here. Yeah, it has a very small stand collar, and the most interesting part obviously is this dark red, which the part is stuffed with, yeah, in my case I used some fiber fill, and then you run the seams, you stitch it, and then it has this puffy look. So it's like a puffer jacket, puffer vest, but just this part here, and also in the back, because it continues in the back. I had all the materials at home, as I said, and I really used everything up that I had. I had really to like piece something together, because like here there's in between there's another leather, like this is another leather than the rest. Also these, as you can see, it's a little bit lighter here, and the sleeves, this is also a different red leather, but I used everything up that I had, and it worked. For me, that's absolutely fine. You can also see that I used different leather, different gray leathers here. So this one is more like a cold leather, like cold color, cold gray, and this is more like warm gray. I think I even dyed this. Yeah, I dyed this because this was even lighter. But I'm pretty happy, because anyways, like Star Wars costumes, especially people like Dr. Aphra, like shady archaeologists fighting around and whatever, her clothes will not look like pristine and washed and perfect. And I don't like weathering like myself. So this was like already kind of weathered with these different pieces, different parts not matching together. So I'm pretty happy with that. The collar here also has a little slit, which I couldn't help, it was just in there. I did not have more material, but that's it, and I really love it. The length was a little bit tricky to me, like is it really just waist length, or is it a little bit longer? But together with the trousers, now this trousers now sits too low, it would actually more sit around here. It really is like closest together, like the jacket length and where the trouser starts. Okay, let's give you a close-up. Here you really can see that it is, this part is another red leather than this. And here you can see the differences of the colors, the gray, like the shades of gray. But I'm pretty happy, like, I think this would be a jacket that Dr. Aphra is wearing. I like it. Okay, now let me show you wig, aviator cap and goggles. Let's just start with the goggles because this is what you can see at the very top. These are very cheap, like whatever motorcycle, I don't know, costume goggles that you can find super cheap on pretty much everywhere. I bought them on eBay, you can probably find them on Amazon, wherever. They cost me like 10 euros, I think. But they do the job because in this costume version, Dr. Aphra is wearing this style of goggles, not like in most of the pictures, and not the smaller round ones that she's wearing more or less in the comics itself. So on the comic pages or on the comic, like the cover art, she's wearing this one, like rubber band. I painted this one a little bit dark brown because I didn't like the black, but anyways, nothing spectacular here. This is the aviator cap. I also had this fake leather lying around, that's why I used it. If I had enough like real leather, I probably would have used real leather because I like real leather a lot. But I had this pleather lying around. It is brown and it does the job. It's made out of, like, it has always this side part and then two middle parts, and then I put on these round. I have no clue what they actually do. But these, yeah, I had to decide if I really want to make them really big and thick and make them out of metal, kind of, so like make them more out of foam or something, and then paint them silver, or in other pictures they are just left the same brown as the cap itself. Yeah, then I decided to make it just out of the same material, and then I tried to weather it a little bit, so I painted it a little bit darker, in some areas a little bit whiter. That's why here it is kind of white. It's more like it should just be some weathering here, the back. Yeah. Then the straps go down to the chin. This would be the part where the chin sits. And it has another buckle. I don't know if I can put it on now. Yeah, something like this. And, I could probably close it. Then this thing would sit at my chin. But she never closes it. She has always just has it open. Ta-da. Doesn't look strange at all. And the wig is just a black wig that's kind of shoulder length, a little bit longer. and it's a little bit layered. Has a little bit of a bangs, not really, a little bit bangs situation, which goes to the side. So yeah, that's just what it is. It's actually a very cheap wig. I'm not that proud of it, but it does the job, because the only thing that you see is like here a little bit of the bangs and some of the front hair here, the shorter hair here, something like this, and the rest sits under the cap, and then something here sticks out. I wish it wouldn't be so thin. Maybe I get a new wig someday, but I don't know. I'm pretty okay with it. So. Oops. Yeah. So the gloves are these like dark gray, brownish leather gloves with like cut fingers, so fingerless gloves, with this red part here and a gray like cup situation. Like what I did, that was also like pure luck. I had lying around some leather gloves, fingerless leather gloves, but maybe I can show you from the inside. I bought them like, I don't know how many years ago, just for my general fashion outfits. You can see here they had this like opening, this round opening, had some studs here, also had open parts at the knuckles, and were, I think, brown or gold even, but I made them like darker with leather paint. And then I sewed this red part on it, and maybe you can see I also had completely to piece it together, because I didn't have any more of the red leather lying around, but I just didn't want to buy a new one, because then the color wouldn't have matched, because like this is now the same as here, the upper part of the jacket. And again, I think it works because it already looks kind of weathered and used, and like as if it has like ripped open one time and then has been sewn together again. Yeah, and there's also a little bit of filling, like stuffing in there, so that it gets a little bit more puffy, let's say, here. And yeah, I could have done these rectangular pieces like separately, but I found it easier to do them together with this square here, and then just sew these lines and then make it darker in there, so that you really have the look. And this is I don't know, I had lying around I have a lot of gray fabric, because a lot of Star Wars characters have a lot of gray fabric from my cosplays left, so I used this jersey fabric here, which is kind of the same color shade of gray as the jacket. Yeah, then let's just quickly show you the shoes. Nothing super spectacular. I have these gray leather, oh, it's not leather, this is like, I wish they were leather, but they are just like leather black boots. I think I have them since my Ventress Night Sister cosplay, because I also use them for this. They are actually like over the knee boots. Here you could see that. But I just put this part inside so they get shorter. And then they are like the right length that I use as well for Ventress as well as for Dr. Aphra. they have a little zipper inside here. I know that for many Star Wars characters you actually should go for them without zipper, but I just have these and they're comfortable, they're simple and black. That's what she's wearing. One of the things that I was actually most, let's say, worried about for this costume was her tattoo. Aphra has like her complete right arm is covered in this electro tattoo, which actually is supposed to do something. It's not really explained in the comic or so, but if you search for Dr. Aphra, it's kind of an electro tattoo that has some information in it, or so I could have done like do nothing and just always when I wear it, paint it on. Oh my goodness, please no. How long would I sit? Because it's very difficult to paint something around your whole arm, which is supposed to be geometrically correct, so no. First option, no. Second option would have been, you know, you can do these like water-based tattoos that you put on, like as you did as a child. You can print that out and then cover it, but these lines that she has are so like thin, they probably would rip off when you try to remove it, like when you try to remove the paper. So also not an option. And the option that I went for is a tattoo sleeve. So as I'm always doing with a lot of cosplays, I'm using tights. This time it's see-through tights, and I cut a hole in the bottom, and then I can just wear it at the top, go in with the arms, and okay, let's out, just show you, demonstrate like this, and then you have it on. I put this trouser sleeve on something that I formed like my arm. I didn't paint the lines on my arm because it would have been like, again, very difficult to yourself do it. I just took another shirt that I have, filled it up with fiberfill, put this over so it has around somehow the shape of my arm, and then I painted it. It's with fabric markers painted on, and at the end here, oops, the other way around, here I have openings for my fingers, like this. Can you see it? And this is my solution. Now you think like, this looks a little bit strange, but remember, we have the gloves over it, so it looks very natural. And I decided to let these tights like with 2 sleeves, and that cut one of them off. You see the other one is still also there. I also pull it on my other arm, like there's like nothing, it's just see-through. Because I found that when I have like one arm with tights, which makes the skin look more matte and gives the skin a little bit of a different color, and then the other arm has nothing, then the arms look different on photos. So that's why then I put this whole thing completely on, and I have like 2 covered arms with tights, and one of the sides has these geometrical patterns. Then Dr. Aphra, like they go up until her neck, and like these 2 I just paint like on with makeup. So they're still on because I just came back from the shooting, as you know. And oops, that's basically it. had a little bit of fun seeing my newest South cosplay. It's Dr. Aphra. I haven't worn it to a convention because convention's happening at the moment. But so yeah, today I did the shooting. I think it was pretty comfortable. The trousers are very tight and not as stretchy as I wish they would. But other than that, this construction is like the belt construction is kind of okay. It doesn't fall down or anything. It's just not the most comfortable thing, having like a holster around your thigh with a kind of heavy blaster prop in there. But yeah, I will insert some of the pictures and maybe also again some of the footage that I shot outside. And yeah, hope you have a nice rest of the day today, whenever you're watching that. And see you real soon. May the force be with you. Bye.